Welcome back, students. Today we will see the practical vapor absorption refrigeration system and its COP, and we will solve some numericals regarding this topic. So, what is practical vapor absorption system? You have to remember first, it consists of mainly four components apart from the other components used in the simple vapor absorption system. So, what are the four components? One is your analyzer, okay, one is your rectifier, and two heat exchangers are basically used. Okay, चार कंपोनेंट हो गया, एक क्या हो गया तुम्हारा एनालाइजर, दूसरा रेक्टिफायर, and two heat exchangers are used in the practical vapor refrigeration system. So you can see the line diagram of the vapor absorption system. So first discuss about what is the function of analyzer. Let me show you. The analyzer is this one. Okay, this one is your analyzer, and this is your rectifier, and one heat exchanger is incorporated between the, this one is a one heat exchanger. It is placed between the condenser and evaporator, and another heat exchanger is placed between the absorber and the generator part. Clear? So let's the working of different components one by one. So first see what is analyzer and how, what is the function. So what happens when the ammonia is vaporized in the generator? Okay, look here, when the ammonia is vaporized in the generator, so some water is also vaporized and it will flow into the condenser part along with the ammonia vapors. And you have to remember, the boiling point of ammonia is lower than the boiling point of water, means ammonia will first boil, then will water boil. So first ammonia will go, then simultaneously water will go with the ammonia to the condenser. Okay, so simultaneously it will flow into the condenser along with the ammonia vapors in the simple system. So if these unwanted water particles are not removed before entering the condenser, so what happen? You can use your common sense. If it will not be removed before entering to the condenser, it may freeze and it will choke the pipeline. Okay, so means total refrigeration system will be damaged. So in order to remove these unwanted particles flowing to the condenser, a analyzer is used. Okay, समझ में आ गया analyzer काम क्या है? To stop the unwanted water particles to moving to the condenser, or to stop the choking of the pipe, analyzer is used. Okay, the analyzer may be built as an integral part of the generator or made as a separate piece of the equipment. So it consists of a series of trays mounted over the generator. The strong solution from the absorber and the aqua ammonia from the rectifier are introduced at the top of the analyzer, and it will flow downward over the trace and into the generator. So in this way, considerable liquid surface area is exposed to vapor rising from the generator. So the vapor is cooled and most of the water vapor condenses, so that mainly ammonia vapor leaves the top of the analyzer. Since the aqua is heated by vapors, less ammonia heat is required in the generator. Clear? So next, see the function of rectifier. Okay, so in this case, the water vapors are not completely, suppose water vapors are not completely removed in the analyzer, so a rectifier will be helpful here. So a closed type vapor cooler called rectifier or dehydrator or water separator is used. Okay, so it is generally water cooled and may be of double pipe cell and coil or cell and tube type structure. Okay, so its function is to cool further the ammonia vapors leaving the analyzer so that the remaining water vapors are condensed. Thus, only dry and anhydrous ammonia vapors flow into the condenser, and the condensate from the rectifier is returned to the top of the analyzer by a drip return pipe. Okay, so next is your heat exchanger. So heat exchanger, I have told you, and there are two heat exchangers are used. One is placed in between the condenser and evaporator, and another one is placed in between the absorber and the heat exchanger, absorber and the generator. So it is provided between the pump, and the generator is used to cool the weak hot solution returning from the generator to the absorber. Okay, the heat removed from the weak solution raises the temperature of the strong solution, leaving the pump and going to the analyzer and generator. So this operation reduces the heat supplied to the generator and the amount of cooling required for the absorber. So thus the economy of the plant simultaneously increases. So the heat exchanger provides is it the heat exchanger provided between the condenser and the evaporator may also be called liquid subcooler. So in this heat exchanger, the liquid refrigerant leaving the condenser is subcooled by low temperature ammonia vapor from the evaporator. So this subcooled liquid is now passed to the evaporator and then to the condenser. So what is the COP of the system? So COP will be calculated by heat absorbed in the evaporator to the work done by the pump and heat supplied in the generator. Okay, so you will derive the COP. Okay, look here. Look here. The heading is COP of vapor absorption refrigeration system. Okay, so let's. This is a system. This is the system, means this is the vapor absorption system. Your devices are generator at a temperature Tg, pump, condenser and absorber, and that is temperature Tc, and evaporator, that is temperature Te. So heat is supplied from the generator to the system, that is Qg. Pump work is your Wp, and your evaporator, heat absorbed in the evaporator, that is your QE, and heat rejected to the environment in the condenser and absorber is QC. Clear? So let's find out the COP. So Qg is the heat given to the refrigerant in the generator. Similarly, QC is the heat discharged to the atmosphere from the condenser and absorber. QE is equal to heat absorbed by the refrigerant in the evaporator. Okay, WP is your pump work, and similarly Tg is the corresponding temperature of the generator. Tc is the corresponding temperature at which it is discharged to the atmosphere from the condenser and absorber. Okay, Te is the temperature at which heat QE is absorbed in the evaporator. Clear? So from the first law of thermodynamics, you know the net change in heat in the cycle will be equal to the net change in work in the cycle. Okay, so and if I will recall you the sign convention of heat and work, the heat added to the system is taken as positive sign, heat removed from the system is taken as negative sign. Similarly, work done on the system is taken as a negative sign, work by the system is taken as positive sign. So you see how many heat terms you are getting. One is your Qg, one is QE, another one is QC. There are three heat terms and only one work term, that is a WP. Means the net heat interaction will be net work interaction in the system, in the cycle. Now just apply the sign convention. Qg is heat added to the system, means it will taken as positive sign. QE will be added to the system, means it will taken as positive sign. QC is rejected from the system, means it will be taken as negative sign. So the net heat interaction in the system will be QG plus QE minus QC. That will be balanced by what? Net work done, that is WP. And remember, WP, the sign convention will be you are giving work to the system, means work done on the system is taken as negative sign. So what will be my equation? My equation will be QE plus QG minus QC. It is my net work minus minus of WP. Why I am taking minus? Because it will come to the LHS of the equation. Okay. But we are neglecting the pump work because it is very small as comparison to the heat supplied in the generator. Okay. So that's why we are neglecting. So if you are neglecting the WP, so QE plus QG minus QC is equal to 0. And what is QC? QC will be QG plus QE. So this is my equation number 1. Now from the second law of thermodynamics, you can write simultaneously here QG, it is coming from temperature TG. So just write down QG by TG plus QE by TE will be equal to QC by TC. And you know QC will be QG plus QE. Just put the value of QC here. So QG by TG plus QE by TE will be equal to QG plus QE by TC, and separate this term, right hand side term, and combine all the QE terms to the one side and combine all the QG terms to the another side. This is only simple mathematics. Okay. So after combining, you will get QE whole into TC minus TE by TC into TE will be QG into TG minus TC by TG into TC. In the denominator part, TC and TC can be cancelled out, and COP will be QE by QG. Why? I have now told you COP will be heat absorbed in the evaporator, means QE divided by work done by the pump, and pump work will be neglected, isko hatao, plus heat supplied in the generator. So formula of COP will be QE by QG. So just write down the COP in terms of QE by QG. So QE by QG will be, just divide the QG in here, just divide QG here, just divide QG to here, you will get the final equation of COP will be, formula will be TE by TC minus TE whole into TG minus TC by TG. And how to remember this COP of vapor absorption system? So this term is your COP of refrigerator, ठीक, and this term is your COP of, sorry, efficiency of Carnot engine. So means it is the product of Carnot refrigerator and efficiency of Carnot engine. Okay, you can remember in this way. So let's solve one numerical. Okay, so question says find the COP of VARS having generator temperature is 110 degrees centigrade. Okay, fine. Evaporator temperature is minus 15 and absorber or condenser temperature is 40 degrees centigrade. It is very simple. You know TG is given 110, just convert into Kelvin by adding 273. Similarly, evaporator temperature T is given minus 15, added to 273, it will be 258 Kelvin. Condenser temperature that is TC 40 degrees centigrade, just adding 273 you will get 313 Kelvin. You know TG, TE, TC, just apply the formula here. COP will be this one. Okay. After applying, it will get 0.857 answer. Okay. So next question. The generator temperature is 117 degrees centigrade. Condenser temperature is 37. Evaporator temperature is minus 15 degrees centigrade. Okay. Question is, if the actual COP is 50% of the ideal COP of the system, get the amount of saturated steam, okay, supplied to the generator at 130 degrees centigrade for 100 ton capacity of condensate, leaves the generator at 120 degree centigrade. Okay, let's see how to solve. TG, TC and TE are given. convert into Kelvin, no problem, and first find the ideal COP by applying the relation. So you will get 1.0177, and the question is actual is 50% of ideal, so actual will be just 50%, 0.5088. Now what to do? Just add the temperature of 130 degrees centigrade from the steam table, find the value of Hg, that is 2719.9, and similarly add the temperature of 120 degrees centigrade, find the value of Hf, okay, that is 503.7. so you know COP will be QE by QG, so QG will be QE by COP, and QE means it is given 100 ton capacity, means it is the evaporation capacity of the refrigerator, that is ton, just convert into kilojoule per minute, just multiply 210 in the numerator part, means 100 into 210 by COP is actual COP 0.5088, so QG हमको मिल गया 41,273.5 किलोजूल पर मिनट, QG we are getting. So you know Q is equal to m dot into latent heat, okay, QG will be m dot into HFG, and HFG can be written as Hg minus Hf. So mass flow rate will be QG divided by latent heat, that is Hg minus Hf, okay. Hg you know, Hf you know, just put all the values and we'll get the mass flow rate of the refrigerant, that is 18.623 kg per minute, okay. Thank you. So this completes your third chapter, that is vapor absorption refrigeration system, okay.